Imagine waking up one day and being told you no longer had rights, not because of anything you did, but because of who you were. This is the story of the concentration camps, how hatred, mixed with power, built factories of suffering, and how even after the gates fell, the scars never disappeared. It didn't start with camps, it started with words, whispers, posters, laws. First, they told them they didn't belong. Then they stripped away jobs, businesses, schools, one law at a time, one right at a time, until there was nothing left to defend them. Next came the ghettos, crowded prisons disguised as neighborhoods, and then the trains, packed, windowless, relentless. Behind barbed wire, humanity was crushed. Children, mothers, scholars, farmers, no crime, no trial, only a number tattooed on skin. They were forced to labor until their bodies gave out, starved until the soul barely clung to the shell, experimented on, tortured, executed, for nothing but the satisfaction of cruelty. It was injustice at its purest, a machine built to erase entire peoples from the earth. In 1945, the gates were opened, but the world that survivors walked into was not the world they remembered. Freedom was real, but so was the loss. Entire families, entire cultures, gone. And the question echoed, how could this happen? You know, it matters because history echoes. And while hatred, if left unchecked, festers again. You know, the seeds of injustice still hide in words, in fear, in lies about, the other, and in the temptation to dehumanize. We owe it to them, the ones who survived and the millions who didn't, to remember, to speak out, to see when it begins again, because honestly, freedom is never guaranteed, and silence is never neutral. Never again. Share their story, break the silence, never forget, never again.